Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Caterpillar's second quarter 2023 financial results. I'm your host, Rusty Dunn. Pleased to be with Chief Financial Officer Andrew Bonfield. Once again, nice to be with you.
Great to be with you too, Rusty.
Much to talk about in this second quarter, and put some perspective around it before we get into the key numbers, Andrew, and some comments for people watching.
Another strong performance this quarter. I think as we have seen, some of the challenges from the supply chain difficulties that we went through last year have started to alleviate a little bit more. They're still around, but that just meant the operating performance was much stronger.
Well, Andrew, let's start, as we always do, top line, sales and revenues. How did we come out for second quarter?
Very well, because actually sales and revenues were $17.3 billion, up $3.1 billion or 22% versus the second quarter of last year, driven by both price and higher volume. All three primary segments showed good performance. Construction industries up 19%, resource industries up 20%, and energies and transportation up 27% in the quarter.
Which takes us to the bottom line, then profit per share.
From a profitability perspective, very strong margins. We saw operating margins of 21.1% for the quarter, driven by higher price and volume, partially offset by higher manufacturing costs, particularly relating to material costs, and also some investments we made behind our strategic initiatives. That drove profit per share of $5.67 on a GAAP basis. On an adjusted basis, reported profit per share of $5.55, which is the first time ever we've achieved adjusted profit per share over $5 in a quarter.
Excellent performance. Layer that, Andrew, on top of the balance sheet, cash on hand, that sort of discussion. But where's that put us?
Yeah, very strong balance sheet as always. We've maintained very strong free cash flow for the quarter, which meant that we were able to return $2 billion of cash to shareholders through a mixture of buybacks and dividends, and at the same time retained $7.4 billion of cash on the balance sheet at the end of the quarter.
I always love it when you can sort of boil it down to some headlines and key takeaways as you see them.
Very strong operating performance. Obviously, we're starting to see better deliveries of machines and engines to our customers and meeting their demand that's out there, which is obviously pent up a lot based on the economic conditions that they're seeing in front of them.
Excellent. Well, Andrew, a little bit of a history lesson as you go beyond the numbers, as you do every quarter. Caterpillar established its first major manufacturing facility 70 years ago now in the UK, specifically Desford, England, and you had a chance to go across the pond recently to see what they're doing to celebrate that anniversary.
Yeah, it was a great visit out there. Nice to actually get out to an operating site and saw some really interesting things.
Excellent interview. Let's watch.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Numbers. And I'm here today with Rob Walker, Operations Manager of a Desford facility, a BCP products facility here in the UK. Rob, perhaps you can tell us, what do you manufacture here?
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. And firstly, welcome to the facility. The job of Desford is to manufacture the backhoe wheel loader and the compact wheel loader products. And we do everything from end to end. So design, manufacture and test. And in this brilliant facility we're in today, demonstrate to our customer as well.
And you're celebrating a special anniversary this year.
Yeah, we're 70 years this year, so the team's really buzzed about having the opportunity to spend some time and reflect on our history. Specifically, the length of time we've been on this site, developing product and doing what we do so well. So it's a really big year for us. First facility outside of the US for Caterpillar and what heritage we carry.
Yeah, that's great. And perhaps you can tell us about some of the new products. And I think we've got one of them behind us.
Yeah,
here.
Rather conveniently, someone parked this here for us, Andrew. As we look at the energy transition, we're seeing that brought to life.
And you expect, obviously, it's a relatively small number of units to start with, but obviously you're being prepared to ramp up as customer demand increases.
As we see more demand on the facility, we've built capacity to make sure we can accommodate it. But the key for us is to manage it slowly. It's a new product. We want our teams to be really comfortable with that transition. It's a very different machine to produce than our historical diesel version.
Yes. And obviously that's a change in the way we have to manufacture, the way we have to operate and so forth.
It's really important that we take the time to educate our teams on safe working practice. This one is a high voltage machine and it's really important that our teams know how to produce it so that we get the best quality and keep them safe while they do so.
And talking about safety, you have a really good, strong safety record here.
We do, and it's all coming from our team's contribution, the way that we manufacture, the need for us to stop and fix our problems when we see them, and actually actually encouraging the team that we don't want to run with risk that puts them in jeopardy. So, like I say, from a leader looking at my team's performance, everyone is, kind of energized to that purpose.
Not just an exemplary safety record, but I believe you also have a very active employee resource group population here as well.
Yeah, our ERGs are very important to the success of our business, Andrew. We see our young professionals, our graduates, our diversity and inclusion group, and one I'm particularly proud of is actually our WIN group. We've started an hourly WIN group here in Desford. We understand as a business the need to get those different inputs from, the population we have working in our environment, and frankly, we see it as a legacy. These are the people we hand our business to in the future, and without them, I don't think that we will continue the success we see out of the Desford facility. So they're hugely important to us, and they're an amazing group of people who do great work for Caterpillar.
That's great. And you also have apprentices here as well, amongst other things?
Yeah, we've got the youngsters coming through,
Yeah.
the apprenticeship schemes. They're doing a great job in terms of advancing their career in our business, but we try and bring in anywhere between 20 apprentices a year to really bolster that future talent, and it's a critical part of the talent pipeline.
Really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you, Rob, and wish you to keep that strong safety record going, and wish you every success with the new electric machine.
Thank you, Andrew. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Andrew, 70 years of manufacturing history there. What a heritage in Desford, yet they're still pushing forward to do new things.
Yes, and the other interesting thing, which I thought was really fantastic, was their safety performance as well, and their work with apprenticeships. Some really good things they're doing there for their staff, the employee resource groups as well. So very good place to see, and actually very good to see some of the things they were doing.
It's excellent. I urge everyone to watch the Beyond the Numbers. Excellent work, Andrew. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Russ.
One final note before we go, that you're going to see the notice on forward-looking statements related to content covered in today's discussion. That will be posted at the end of this video. All right, appreciate all of you joining us today. As always, be safe in everything you do. Have a great day.